Hey, Cash, this is Adrian Gomez. Thanks for sending these in, and looking forward to looking and seeing what we can find as far as mechanical issues to fix. So right now, into the back leg, as you squat and drive into the back leg a little bit, you're sitting about 121 degrees, which is it's good, but it's not quite where you could be. And what I'd like to see is you squat a little bit lower into that back half to get below 110. So right there, if you from that back hip to that line, we're talking, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of a squat that you could get into in a better position to be able to throw out of. So power to the back leg is definitely something I want you to look at as far as a weakness on the website. Also look at where the heel is going. You can see this back leg, it'll go. You should rotate with your on your back foot. If I could, it's hard to describe this, but your back heel isn't rotating. Normally your back heel would go this way, up and out, but your back heel is actually facing this way. So I want it to rotate up and around, and right now you're kind of almost going that way as you drive your back leg, and you get into this bent back leg. And what that does is it stops your hip rotation and it decreases your velocity out of your back leg. So power to the back leg is definitely one thing I want you to work on. Box drill 1, box drill 2, walking torques, walking windups, all of those are back leg, are going to help you push through. So you want to go from actually a bent leg to a straight leg, and you went from a bent to a bent leg. This back leg needs to stay straight. I'd like to see it like that extension. So power of the back leg is definitely something that I want you to work on. At plant leg, we see this angle out of your legs, and it's about 86 degrees. And right now, 86 degrees is not where we want it. We want it to be about 110. So what that means is that back leg cannot go into a bent knee. You've got to drive a lot further. You're missing probably, I don't know, maybe a foot of that front leg drive to get out in front. So that's definitely something I want you to get better at. So that extension, power of the back leg, is going to help you driving that hip and extending that front foot a little bit further. Let's look at your front knee. This is what we call an internally rotated front knee is what I'm looking for, but it looks like you're actually pretty good. So I'm going to measure off that front knee to the ankle, and you don't see a big movement with your knee, which is nice. And we're also going to measure your front knee, which is about 132 degrees, which is not bad. Now, so the front side's pretty good and it's firm. You're stopping that front leg, which is a positive, but that back leg is definitely something that is missing. We're missing that. We'll get into that when we throw, or when you go into the chest extension. So that's the lower half. There's no internally rotated front knee, which is fine, but power to the back leg and your leg extension is definitely something that I want you to work on. So you need to drive a lot further with that front leg. You put it down way too early, and you could have driven for a longer period of time, maybe another foot before you start throwing the ball. Front leg looks pretty good, so keep that the same. We just want to get more hip rotation into that back leg. So let's look at stack. I think you stack pretty well, and what that means is for us, we're looking at back leg squatting pretty well. I think you can go down a little bit further as far as squatting. Your butt can sit a little bit behind that heel. That's going to help a lot. And then also that front side is going to go over here, up on top. So let's see, boom, boom, boom. Staying back as far as you can with that chest and then driving through. But you're losing that stability in that chest because you don't have that back leg on the ground. So stacking, definitely, I think you do a pretty good job. I think you can do a little bit better with your lower half. Let's look at your front glove. Front glove is coming, you're pinching. It's a little bit low, And what I'd like to see is this elbow rotate a little bit more towards your shoulder blade in that direction and help you rotate around a little bit better. So front glove, definitely something I want you to work on. As you throw, I'm going to take a measurement. Let's go one more back. Let's look at both your shoulders right here and off to your elbow. Elbow's fine. Your elbow stays pretty good, pretty level to your shoulder. So there's not really a high elbow. So that's good. That's good news. As you throw the ball, this is your chest. So this is a big deal right here. You're about 32 degrees. And what that means is you need to be about 48 degrees, 50 degrees. Your chest needs to go a little bit further towards that line. What you're going to notice about this, though, is that's where your leg should be. So your chest and your back leg should be consistent. And what you see out of that back leg is it's bent and it's not extended, it's not straight. So if you could do that a little bit better, keep that back leg pushing, stay on the inside part of your foot, let your heel rotate up and around, that's going to be key for you to drive your chest more. You're missing probably, your front leg's fabulous, but that back leg and that chest, you're missing 4 or 5 miles an hour that you can definitely improve upon in a short amount of time when you fix that. That's awesome. So theoretically, your chest should go forward, and your back leg is straight. So then it should pop up at the end. So your chest should go forward, back leg should pop up, and this front leg is that fulcrum just sitting there. So I think with the fulcrum of that front leg, I think that's fabulous, but we need to work on the back leg and the chest extension. Those are the two big things that I think you could improve on a ton. And that's going to take a little bit of time, but it's worth the time putting in. The last thing I have for you is what we call an arm fly out. High elbow. So watch this arm. See how the arm flies out side of that elbow? I want to reduce that. I don't want to change you completely. So this is maximum layback right here. And you fly out this way, about 66 degrees. I'd like to maybe cut that in the middle. Okay? And what that means is you're going to want to turn that wrist through a little bit faster and get that ball out just a tad bit faster. Turn that, and part of it has to do with your back leg. You can see that you're throwing mostly arm, and it's going right into that shoulder. I'd like to see more of your core involved in throwing with your core and going down over your front foot with your chest. And balance-wise, you're swinging this back leg around, and it actually should be going up. You're swinging that back leg. The back leg never comes off the ground. It should come off the ground if you're throwing with your hips and rotating properly. So that's something I definitely want you to work on. Arm fly out a little bit. So that's definitely an issue. But yeah, I mean, take notes on this video, watch it multiple times. You'll start to see the things I'm seeing. And then all of those correlations happen on our website. You look up your weaknesses on our website. It'll have drills to fix each weakness. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Let me know how I can help.